Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to be continuing our discussion on how to have and maintain a positive attitude. And we've learned so far that our attitude really does determine the position of our lives. That our attitude, if it is good, we tend to have positive things going on with us. If it's bad, the opposite sort of things that take place. Now, I have defined attitude as the orientation of our mind in reference to our life. In other words, I like the word orientation because it really refers to our position. And so it really is the position that we choose to have in our mind in relation to our life. Now, yesterday I began by sharing with you the first reminder about attitude, and that was that we get to choose our attitude. Now, I shared with you the story yesterday of Miss Bessie. If you didn't have a chance to listen to the video yesterday, check out my Facebook wall. You'll find it there. Miss Bessie has a very inspiring and challenging story, and I encourage you to go back and listen to that. So today I want to share with you the second reminder about attitude. The first reminder is we get to choose our attitude. The second reminder is this, that people reflect back to us the attitude we present to them. Let me say that again. People reflect back to us the attitude that we present to them. That kind of sounds like the principle of sowing and reaping. Now, I teach at the university level, and I teach a world religions class, and in that class we look at the 10 major religions in our world today, and we look at the differences and similarities. And while there are many differences in these religions, but there are also many things that are similar. And one of the things I've discovered is this principle of sowing and reaping is a principle that you will see in almost every major world religion of our day. You see, I really believe that our attitude towards others will determine their attitude towards us. If we're cheerful and we're positive, then others will reflect back to us that sort of attitude. If we're negative and irritable, then I believe also that people will reflect back that attitude towards us as well. Now, here's the interesting thing. I think that many people live their entire lives and never really understand that basic truth. They don't understand that the attitude they are displaying is going to be reflected back to them. They simply never make the connection between their surroundings and the attitude that they have. They think, well, I'll be nice to others when they're nice to me. That's like going to the bank and saying, I want to make a withdrawal. And they say, well, you've got to make some deposits first. So really, that's the way life is. One of my favorite authors is the late Earl Nightingale. If you're familiar with Earl Nightingale, he's a great author and speaker, motivational guy. His series, Lead the Field, is phenomenal. I've listened to it over 100 times in the last 30 years. And one of the things that Earl Nightingale says, which I really think is very interesting, he says that our surroundings are like a mirror, sometimes a merciless mirror of who we are and the attitude we have. And that is, according to Nightingale, and I agree with him, that we get back from an attitude standpoint what we give to others. Our lives reflect back to us the attitude that we have. Now, here's the implication for that. If we want to change our world, if we want to change the circumstances of our life, if we want to change what's going on around us, we must first change ourselves, particularly in light of an attitude standpoint. If we feel our environment could stand some improvement, then we need to bring about that improvement by changing our own attitude. As Earl Nightingale says, and again I agree, I love what he says about this, the world plays no favorites. It's impersonal. It really doesn't care who succeeds or fails. It doesn't even care if we change our attitude. The world doesn't care whether you have a negative or positive attitude. But the fact is, the attitude that we have is displayed and reflected back to us. And that's because changing our attitude affects us more than it does anybody else. So I really want to challenge you today to think about the attitude that you're displaying. We've talked about choosing our attitude yesterday, the story of Miss Bessie. Again, if you haven't heard that, go to my Facebook wall and watch that video from yesterday. It's a great story. And today we understand that the attitude that we choose, whatever that is, whether it's positive or negative, it's going to be reflected back to us. Now tomorrow we're going to continue with our final reminder of attitude, and then I'm going to share with you some strategies that I use to develop and maintain a positive attitude. Listen, I hope you have a fantastic day. Go out and make it so.